You know what one of my favorite things to do is? Get up on Monday after a great weekend, know that I have an easy ride or an easy run. It keeps getting a little bit longer every Monday. There's always an aerobic component to Monday mornings for me. And then I get to come and hang out with you guys for mobility. So usually, and I usually do a 2-week build on my training. So, I can go 2 weeks on with that Monday aerobic time. And then I can take 1 week off and just rest on a Monday. So, had a killer ride this morning. Hopefully some of you might have joined me on Zwift. We should all be following each other on Strava. So, ECFIT Nation. Just make sure we all follow each other on Strava. So if you follow me, I follow you, and then we kind of know what's going on, who we are, and that we can come together whenever we want. Let's grab the foam roller. We're going to work inner thigh, we're going to work breath, and we're going to work thoracic spine today. Okay, so adductor group, which will give us more access to our glutes, and then we're going to work through the upper body as well. So just get that foam roller, pull the knee up to the hip, and then we're going to work in thirds like we do through the femur and through the line of the inner thigh. So right down at the inner thigh, first third, down by the knee, we want to pull the toes towards the shin, so that adds a little bit of tension through the lower leg. And then we're just going to work a little bit of internal rotation. So we get a little bit of pressure through that VMO, and we get to activate and switch on the internal rotators of the hip. So those two primary things through this movement. Just nice and easy. We're trying to get about 10 reps here. Good. Now as we go up into the middle third, let's use the hand here to back off some of the resistance that the body weight creates so that it's not that painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want to keep you behind a 6. So you can get some discomfort in there, that's okay. But if it goes beyond a 6 out of 10, let's go ahead and just use your hand here to unload the body weight. Those adductor groups, as they come up and get stronger, they can get a little spicy, right? Okay, now right up into the top third, and we're going right up to that pubic ramus, so right up to the pelvis. Work through the inner thigh, that's up into that adductor magnus, primarily the front fibers, those anterior fibers. So let's get right up there, get a little bit of movement with the foam roller through that tissue, and then let's go right back to the first third and work through that internal rotation again. And we'll go 10, 5, so we get activation. Good. And think about it. There's 2 ways to think about it. Every time I lift my foot, my inner thigh has to work. Usually the anterior fibers of magnus, right? And a little muscle called pectineus. Every time this muscle fires, these guys have to let go. So one is a concentric contraction and one has to go eccentric. So there has to be a conscious decision on the outside rotators of the hip to lengthen. And we're doing this, we're adding movement and mobility to an extent, flexibility, without really stretching, but more through activation. Okay, let's work the other side. And we're going to go knee as high as the hip. We're down at that first third. I kind of hear somebody come to say hi. I wish I had a treat. Oh, hi, Jackson. Hi, buddy. Nice to see you. Can you have a seat? Can you have a seat? Yeah, this first third here. Now we're going to move. So we've got to match the other side. Sit, Jax. Atta boy. Good, good. Okay, we're good. Good boy. We're just going to move 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good. And then let's go ahead and go to the middle third. And we're just going to take that nice and easy. Lighten up the weight. Jackson, leave it. Jackson, leave it. Unweight the body weight. Someday he's going to be able to stay. working through that middle third, and then we're taking it all the way up by the pelvis, all the way up by the pubic ramus and the pubic bone. Good. Jackson, leave it. And then we're going to go ahead and move through that. 4, 5, special guest star. 8, 9, 10. Go see. Come here. Cookies. He's looking. Jackson, go. Come. He doesn't want to come. Come, Jackson. It's okay. And we're moving through the internal rotation of the hip. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and get into a standing position. And a nice wide stance. Heels outside of toes. And we're going to hands on the hips, and we're going to glide left. Get a little bit of stretch there, and then glide right. Oh, my knee's feeling so much better. Left, and then right. Seems really simple, but the position of your feet really matters. You want to anchor the ankles, the heels outside of the toes, okay? Just nice and easy. He's thinking about breakfast now. Good. Good. And good. Now, let's go ahead. You can use your foam roller. And as a matter of fact, for most of us, I want you to use your foam roller. So we're going to go 1 foot in with the foam roller in front of the feet. So foam roller is right there. We're going to come all the way back up. The most important thing here is the hip hinge. Okay? So I don't want to overcoach this, but I want you to move your hips back. And your hands are moving a little bit to the front. So push your hips back, hands drop to the front, come back up. Through that movement, we are now loading the posterior fibers of adductor magnus. So we've got a wide stance, so we're stretching, lengthening, not really stretching, use the word lengthening. Push the hips back, keep the chest up, drop the arms, come back up. Push the hips back, drop the arms, come back up. That also can play with a little muscle on the back side of the pelvis called quadratus femoris. So we need to have this movement very, very high up into the glute so that we can lay on the handlebars and be so comfortable in that very short hip position. So this movement needs to become not only proficient, but it also needs to become very strong. So we strengthen this in different ways, right? But Mondays, we just make sure we move it. Good. All right, let's go ahead and glide again. Glide to the left. And you notice that that left knee is in towards the midline. The right knee is now in towards the midline. And come back. So we're in internal rotation. Internal rotation. Ankles are starting to feel a little bit of that length with that anchored stance down at the foot. Good. 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 Let's go one more. Good. Let's take that right into that forward fold. Push the hips back. Keep the chest up. Reach the hands down. Come back up. We're going to go 10 of those. 2. Push the hips back. 3. 4. If that feels tight in the pelvis, on the back side of the thighs, high up into the anchor point of the hamstrings, then we're going to go foam roll that in just a second, okay? So just know this should get easier and easier. We want to be able to just kind of hang out like that for quite a while. Okay, let's go ahead and have a seat on the foam roller long ways. So that means we're going to put the foam roller right in the middle of the pelvis. So you can feel those ischial tuberosity, the kind of the anchor points of the hamstrings on either side. And we're going to go outside of glute. I'm smiling because I think I used my glutes this weekend. Definitely did a good lift, but they're a little bit dull and achy. They should not be pinny. Other side, just getting that little bit of massage through the glutes. And good. All right, let's take that foam roller. Doesn't matter whether it's a big foam roller or a small foam roller. We're gonna go into full kneeling position. So down on 2 knees. And we're just rotating with that foam roller with a head wrap. 3, 4, and I want you to really feel this position. When you get back here, I want you to let that chest come to the front, get a little bit of extension through the spine, and bring it right through the other side. Really open up the chest, open up the shoulders. Lift right here. You should feel that rib cage really lifting. Good? All right, let's go the other way. Same thing, big side bend, big reach, open it up. Those of you that did my stretch class yesterday, remember that big reach we did on the side? Now we're adding mobility to it. Okay, couple more. We're not just moving through the shoulders, we're moving through the entire rib cage. And good. Okay, let's bring it back up into a standing position. Want your stance to go ahead and be just outside of shoulder width. So just outside of shoulder width. And if you can see this mat that I'm on, it has stripes on it. And that'll help you understand what anchoring is. So take the outsides of your feet and just make them parallel. Don't internally rotate, don't go here. Just parallel the outside of the feet. That will automatically put your hips into an internal rotation. And then you can kind of toggle a little bit. So just toggle. Just weight shift left, weight shift right. Left, right. So anybody who watches right pedal versus left pedal, just know that if you do this all day, left side, right side, left side, right side, that's one easy strategy to really wake up the brain and the nervous system to understand to load the right side, load the left side. Just nice, easy weight shift. Now, let's go ahead and take the hips to the back just a little bit. So you kind of keep your chest up, push your hips back. The weight is now on your heels. And instead of toggling the whole body with weight shifts, we're just going to take the right hip to the midline, come back to the middle. Left hip to the midline, back to the middle. You're going to feel certain tightness, and tightness isn't a bad thing, right? Tightness can actually propel you forward in elastic energy. So don't feel like if you go into this position and you feel tension, that that's a bad thing, because it's not. You just want to be able to move into internal rotation over here and then internal rotation over here. And you should feel that down into the ball joint of the big toe. So when I go this way towards the left, I'm going to feel that in my left big toe. Go to the right, I feel it in my right big toe. Boom. Side to side. Nice and easy. Good. All right, stand back up nice and tall. We're going to go into a nice split stance. It doesn't need to be a long stance. It doesn't need to be a short stance. It just needs to be a comfortable split stance. From right there, now we've got decoupled hips. All right, so the left side is back. The right side is forward. We're going to put the hands to the height of the heart. We're just pushing the hips back, come straight back up. So we're working that hip hinge again. Nice and easy, back up. Loading the backside, loading the hamstring. 3, drive into the big ball joint of the big toe on the right side. 4, 5, I don't even know where I made up those numbers. I'm pretty sure that's 9, 10. Okay, good. Other side. Left side in front of right. Right leg, float the back heel. Nice big posture. Float the hands to the height of the heart. The first move, hips back. I don't know why, but that took me a while to really figure that out myself. So when I coach it, I really emphasize it. So you stand here, 50-50 weight distribution, push your hips back, boom, okay? Got 10 of those. Keep the hands high. 2, we're gently loading the back line. 3, hips are decoupled. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, good, 9, good, and 10. Okay, so we know that the hip hinge is in play. We know that the hips are rotating. We know that the adductors, which are typically tight, have got some freedom to move. So now let's work on the expansion of the rib cage. All right? So we're standing, square off and parallel the outsides of your feet. Nice strong toes. Thumbs on your bottom rib, pinkies on your hip bones. Push your hips back 2 inches. Expand the rib cage with a big nasal breath. So in through your nose, out through your mouth. We want to upregulate the nervous system. So I want this to be powerful breathing. We're going to go nose, and then we're forcefully forcing the breath out. When you do that, we're going to use these measuring sticks to make sure that when you exhale, you do not collapse. Do not lose the space. Okay? Here we go. Elbows out to the side. Inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. One more. And good. Grab your foam roller. We're going to go right back into 5 head wraps each direction. As you do that, we're going to open up this whole side of the body. And then when we get to this side, we open up the whole other side. 2, down, drop those to the knees. Open. 3, 4, huge head wrap. It's like a body wrap. And 5, ready, go the other way. Big reach over. 1, open those hips, let them move. 2, 3, we're going right back to breath, okay? Here we go, ready? We want to expand the rib cage laterally. We want to breathe into the back. So as you inhale, focus, where's that air going? Should go to the bottom of the lungs and the back of the lungs. Ready? Here we go. Square off the feet. Nice big breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 5 powerful breaths. Good. All right. Take it right down to the ground. Got a little hamstring stretch. We're just going to go ahead and very traditional. If you're comfortable in the sprinter position, so if you want to be in that position, to be honest, it's kind of like push-ups and pull-ups. If you're comfortable and happy doing them, great. Make sure we balance the pushing of the push-up with pulling, and I don't hate it, right? But this position, it doesn't destroy people, but I just prefer not to be in it. So if you want to be in that position, get in that position. What we're going to do is just hold for 5 breaths. These are not powerful breaths. This is going to be gentle breathing. So right foot out, right hand, can't reach your foot, grab your shin, and we're just going to side bend. Today, we've got right foot, right hand over here. We're going to take left arm up nice and high, and 5 nose-mouth breaths. Here we go. Good. We'll go the same thing other side. So that breathing now, we're starting to down-regulate the nervous system. It's not going to make you so relaxed that you want to go to sleep, but it will kind of take you into the next thing with your day, okay? So left leg out, left hand reaches the foot, hopefully. Right hand reach up, side bend. Right here, hold 5 breaths. Good, let's go one more of those each side and then call it a session. You guys, I just want to say that my overwhelming emotion today is really gratitude. I'm so thankful for people showing up. Like, I don't get to see you, so when we do this, if you're doing it live, I love it because you're getting the first iteration of the whole event. But the bottom line is it really shows me that the work that I'm doing is helping people. So just know that I appreciate you, and I appreciate you showing up. Thank you. Big side bend, gentle breaths. I can't really think of a better way to go into a week. Those of you that don't really know me that well and are just getting to know me, just so you know, after this, what I do is I used to go to my own gym. I used to own a gym here in Boulder. I don't own it anymore. I really do miss the people that I used to get to hang out with there a lot. But like all good things, sometimes it ends. So it ended, and it ended before the pandemic, but it was going to shift, and it just ended up not shifting. So I go to a gym, I work with people most of the day, like usually till early afternoon. And then I come home and I try to get on the bike or do something good for myself midday. And then sometimes I go back to the gym, and sometimes I see people remotely, or I'll work on program design or education. And that's kind of my day-to-day. And I have a killer life here in Boulder, Colorado. Anyway, I hope you have a killer life, and I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Peace.